we have our honorable resource person, Dr. Harish Sheoy, who is agronomy scientist at ICAR Krishi Vijnana Kendra, Dakshin Kannada. He done his MSc Agronomy in UAS Dharwada, PG Diploma in Human Resource Management from Indira Gandhi National Open University in New Delhi, and also completed his PG Diploma in Management and PG Diploma in Rural Development in the same Indira Gandhi National Open University. He also completed his PG Diploma in Agricultural Extension Management, Manage, Hyderabad, and now he doing his PhD in Applied Botany under Dr. Siddharaju MN, University College, Hampankatta, Mangalore. He experienced 20 years in teaching, research, administration and extension. He worked as Merit Associate and Research Associate at UAS Dharwada. He also have experience in Karnataka State Government Service. He also worked as agronomist at Livestock Research and Information Center, also called an Amrut Mahal, which is located at Konehalli, Tipturu, Tumkuru district. There he also worked as head and farm superintendent. Now he is working as scientist at Indian Council of Agricultural Research, Krishi Vijnana Kendra, Mangalore. His 18 full-length research papers are published. Other than that, 8 research notes, 12 national abstracts, 9 international abstracts, 16 extension folders, 14 training manual, 4 quarterly newspapers. Then his published articles are become 7 chapters in various textbooks. He also wrote 9 English and 55 Kannada popular articles. He organized more than 50 training programs, workshops and seminars on different aspects of agriculture and allied subjects. He gave 15 radio talks for the benefit of farming community. As research person, he delivered lectures in more than 120 farmers-oriented programs organized by development departments and NGOs. He gave awareness about jackfruit through melas and exhibitions, awareness of new varieties of rice in various districts, awareness of mechanization in districts, and he made Harekala chili as a popular local variety. When coming to his awards, he got Bharat Ratna Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Gold Medal Award in 2017 by Global Economic Progress and Research Association, New Delhi. In 2018, Friendship Forum, New Delhi gave Bharat Excellence Award, Certificate of Excellence and Mahatma Gandhi Award. He got Eminent Scientist Award by Agro Environmental Development Society, Rampur, Uttar Pradesh in 2020, and Best Teacher Award by Institution of Scholars, Bengaluru, and Best Scientist Award by Sabu Jima E-Magazine in 2021. Then his biography publication in Asian Pacific, Who's Who, Volume 16. Then biographical note published in Famous India Nations, Who's Who in 2018. Biographical note published in Asian Admirable Achievers, Volume 10. He has a life membership in Indian Society of Agronomy and Institution of Agricultural Technologists, Bengaluru. He also member of Global Economic Progress and Research Association, New Delhi. He also life member of Institute of Scholars, Bengaluru, and International Association for Agricultural Sustainability. We are proud to have you as our resource person, sir. I heartily congratulate you and welcome you to our program. Once again, a very happy soil day to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. So now we are excited to hear from our today's speaker, Dr. Harish Sheoy, scientist, ICAR Krishi Vijnana Kendra, Mangalore, who is here to share his insights on World Soil Day.
So good afternoon, everybody. So on the occasion of celebration of World Soil Day 2024 at Mangalore University, organized by the Department of Biosciences and Environmental Science Subject Association, all the respected faculties of Bioscience and associated subject, teachers, all the students and chief guest of this function. It is really a great pleasure and privilege for me to stand before you and speak today about World Soil Day 2024 on the theme caring for soils, measure, manage, monitor, and manage. So, on this occasion, this is the uh, theme of the World Soil Day, that is caring for the soils, uh, measure, monitor, and manage. So, the message is very clear. We have to take care of the soil, which takes care of us, okay, by providing us with all the food that we are living today. So, on this occasion, before going further, we should know what is a soil or what is agriculture, soil, just a few uh, definitions so that we can understand the next subjects in a better manner. So, next slide please. So, why World Soil Day is celebrated? So, it is celebrated every year on December 5th to raise awareness about the importance of healthy soil and its role in human being. A soil which is healthy can give good food, or nowadays the awareness is not only high yield, but also quality food that is important. Because we can see that there is a accumulation of heavy metals in the soil and its uptake in the plants, and again it is comes in the humans, and this is not again goes out and it goes to lot of health problems like cancer and all. So, healthy soil is our main important uh, agenda and its role in human being. With over 95% of our food originating from the soil, the health of this resource is directly tied to the survival of the humanity and the planet. So, this day is chosen because it is the birthday of late Bhumipol Adulraj of Thailand, who was the king for nearly, he was a monarch of Thailand for nearly 48 years, and he was he worked a lot for soil science or the uplift or to create awareness about the soil. So, in memory of him, the World Soil Day is celebrated. So, the theme is caring for the soils, measure, monitor, and manage, which emphasizes the role of accurate soil data and sustainable practices in ensuring the food security, combating climate change, promoting resilient ecosystems. The theme, it highlights the importance of the accurate soil data and information to support the sustainable soil management practices. It is very clear that we have to take care of the soil, we have to measure it, we have to monitor it, what are the changes, we have to take the measurements by the data, take the soil data, we have to measure it, after monitor it, what are the changes, then we have to take some management practices so that the yield is optimum, or whatever the products that come from is sustainable, optimum, and environment friendly. So, next slide please. What is a soil? Soil, it is the uppermost layer of the earth crust composed of minerals, organic matter, water, and air. It serves as a foundation for the plant growth and is essential for supporting the life of the planet. So, what soil contains? It contains nearly 45% minerals, 25% air, 25% water, and 5% organic matter. And 5% organic matter, again it comes from the decomposition of the leaf, fallen leaf, whatever the fallen or the waste that is generated on the top of the soil. So, soil, it says it is just a thin layer surrounding the covering the earth's surface. So, it composed of minerals, it contains only plant nutrients. It is generally recognized that we have about 16 to 17 plant nutrients that is required for the plant growth, and all these come from the soil except 3, that is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen comes from the atmosphere. Otherwise, the 13 elements all are present in the soil, and it has to come from the soil to meet the crop requirement or the plant requirement. So, next slide. So soil health, it's a methodological approach of defining, monitoring and evaluating the soil quality index and managing the soil health. So soil health, it refers to the ability of the soil to produce the crop or to give a crop sustainably, means there is no reduction over the period of time without affecting the environment, without any having any detrimental effect on the environment. So next slide. So soil, it forms over 1,000 of years. So you want to get a 1 inch of soil, it takes thousands of years, and the decomposition, because of weathering of rocks, decomposition of the organic materials, it is classified into various types based on the texture, color, composition. So if we come to coastal area, we have the laterite soils, and if you go to North Karnataka, we have the black cotton soils, which are very fertile soils. But in our district, if you take the laterite soils, it is acidic soils, because there is a lot of losses of the soils due to heavy rains. The soil becomes acidic because some nutrients, they are washed off, and some nutrients they build up, like iron and aluminium, they build up and they are become toxic to the plants. But some the nutrients, they are washed off, and it is very essential that we have to rejuvenate these soils, or replenish these soils with proper nutrients if we want to get a good yield. So soil contains 15 to 18 natural occurring elements which are essential for the plants, which makes a cornerstone of agriculture and food security. They include the primary nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. That is the NPK, what we call in agronomy or in agriculture, which is very essential and which is sold in the form of fertilizers. So the nitrogen is required for the plant growth, phosphorus is required for the root growth, and potassium is required at the time of reproductive growth, or where the final, when you get the grains or fruits, it is very much required. And all these elements, 3 elements, are very essential, and they are called as primary nutrients. And the secondary nutrients, they are called calcium, magnesium, sulfur. They have a very good role in having the plant growth right from beginning till the end. And there are micronutrients. There are 7 like boron, copper, iron, manganese, molybdenum, zinc. They are called micronutrients, and they are very essential in the crop, and they are required in very minute quantity. Any excess, it causes toxicity to the plants, and this is where in our district we can see aluminium toxicity. In the lands, especially in paddy lands, in low lying areas, we can see the water flowing with a kind of oily, on the top we can see some oily layer or oily layer, and we can see that this is an indication of excess of aluminium in the soil, because the aluminium gets dissolved, and this is what we see, the movement of the aluminium. And in these soils, whatever we grow, we cannot expect the expected, we cannot have the expected yield, because aluminium, it interferes in the crop growth. So in our district, the only solution we can have is have the soil test. Then we, whatever the after taking a soil test, whatever the recommendations we have, then we can apply, like we can go for application of lime to what extent. Again, it is decided by the extent of acidity of the soil, and all this whatever the nutrients are there, whatever the minimum requirements are there, or what is the critical element, this one requirements, all these are decided when we take or when we evaluate the soil through a soil test. So next. So these are some of the nutrient deficiency symptoms. It very clear that 16 elements are required for any crop growth, and this has to come from the soil, and any deficiency you can see in the plant. So the older leaves, you can see the deficiency of the nitrogen, the major nutrients. On the top we can see the boron and the calcium. These are the one is major and one is minor nutrients, micronutrients. So otherwise also we can see the deficiency of the plants. So just by seeing or visually we can say that it is a deficient, one thing, or otherwise when we test the soil also we can say it very accurately which is deficient, and we can recommend some measures for that. So these are the major nutrients that are required when right from a plant which completes its life cycle. So the next one. So this is the Indian population which has been rising. You all know very well, and we have reached about 130 crores, and every year we are the population is rising. The food demand is also rising, but the arable land, the land that is available is almost 143 million hectares, but it is decreasing every year because of the developments or that is taking place, like road widening or conversion of agricultural land to non-agricultural lands. It puts a lot of pressure on the existing lands to increase the yield, because we have to feed the increasing population. So I would like to draw your kind attention to a pre-independence era where we were not in a position to feed our population. We were we were asking our other countries to supply us, and United States has supplied some wheat and all under some aid program. And with this wheat, also one major weed had come, that is called Parthenium. So today we can see a lot of Parthenium, especially in this area it is not there, but if you go to Tumkur and all, it's a major weed. It grows along the roadside. It is not only causing yield reduction in the crop, but also causing major health problems because it is also growing on our roadside. So you can see that this kind of problems. So in 1970s we had a green revolution where our food production increased sustainably, increased. So now we are self-sufficient in the sense that we are not importing any food grains. We are in turn we are exporting food to other countries, like we are exporting Sonam Masuri to or Basmati to other countries. But at what cost is at what cost also we have to think, like whether it is due to increased application of the fertilizers, because after 1970s in the green revolution, now we are having evergreen revolution. We had also had blue revolution, like fish production, then white revolution, milk production. So many revolutions have taken place, but at what cost? Now we are coming with an awareness for human. So human health, and human health is directly related to soil health. So to what extent we can have a good soil or a productive soil, so that we can have a good food or a quality food, so that whatever the production that comes from the soil is again given to the consumed by the human beings. So the next slide. So this is the ever increasing demand for the food grains, because there is an increasing trend of the population. So next we can take. So this is the geographical area. So net cultivated area is about 142 million hectares. Again, it is reducing year by year, and per capita availability, you can see that the availability of land per head, according to the population, it is going down 0.09 hectares. So the land holdings, as it goes down, the productivity is also decreasing. But it is high time, but we have no choice but to increase the production per unit area. This is very essential. We have no choice to increase the land on a horizontal basis. We have to go through vertical basis, and in order to increase the production through vertical, or to increase the production per unit area, we have to use the hybrids, improved varieties. We have to use the fertilizers. We have to go for pest management practices. All these are very essential to increase the yield. Again, these are very essential till yesterday, but now the awareness is to what extent we can have these practices which are environment friendly. So the next slide please. So you can see here the arable land, shrinking land availability. We have to increase the production, but what about the land available? That is very less. It is going, every year it is going down. So next please. So this is the soil degradation, what is happening every year. So this is data which we got from National Bureau of Soil Science and Land Use Planning. It's an ICR institute located at Bangalore. So the loss of the topsoil due to rains, then terrain deformation. You can see the gully erosion, especially in hilly regions where there is a gully erosion will be there, and rill erosion will be there. All this terrain deformation occurs when there is no vegetation in these hill areas. Then wind erosion, loss of the topsoil or terrain deformation, again the same thing. Then overblowing. Then chemical means salinization, means over use of the fertilizers or over presence of the fertilizer or the chemicals in that soil. Then loss of the nutrients, like in acid soils. And waterlogging, where the water table is very high, there is a waterlogging. Then ice caps or rock outer or arid mountain. So these are the various factors which are we are contributing to soil degradation, especially the loss of the topsoil, which is very fertile. So this is one of the contributing factors for reduction in the yield. So we have to rejuvenate it. We have to give some. We have to prevent the loss of the topsoils through some measures, so that productivity of the crop is retained or it is sustained over a period of years. So next please. So according to NAS, or National Academy of Agriculture Sciences, the annual soil loss rate in our country is 15.35 million tons per hectare, which is a loss of nearly 5.37 to 8.4 million tons of nutrients. Because the loss of the nutrients, there is again we have to rejuvenate it. Again we have to use the chemical fertilizers. Again use of fertilizers, again to what extent? It involves the cost. So next please. So all this, whether it is a measure, monitor and manage, it all relates to soil quality. With ever increasing demand for food production and concurrent advancement in the agriculture, the soils are under really fatigue. They are not able to bear the stress or stumbling under the pressure, leading to land degradation. This is what we have witnessed after the Green Revolution. Then there is a decreased productivity due to increase in the number of chemical soil constraints like salinity, sodicity, then water logging, multiple nutrient deficiencies. So earlier we had a few nutrient deficiencies like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Now nowadays we can see micronutrient deficiencies, and all these are carried to human beings, because the food product produced from these soils, again the end product is again human beings, and it is carried, it is seen in our human beings, in the health of our human beings. Then decreased productivity due to increase in the number of physical soil strain like low organic carbon, decreased soil coverage, higher bulk density, low porosity, low infiltration, percolation, and more runoff, more soil and water losses, loss of the nutrients. Because of this, the ability of the soil to sustain production is decreasing. It means the soil is losing its health and is unable to sustain its functions, including the production. So here it is very clear that the decreased productivity, one of the main is soil consists, or the physical properties of the soil, the chemical properties of the soil, or the biological properties. Here, unless these are in balanced condition, we cannot have a good yield. Or yield is in terms of whatever the crops that we grow on these soils, unless we have a balanced properties of this soil, like physical properties, chemical properties, or biological properties, we cannot have a good yield. So this is what is happening. Next please. So soil quality, it refers to the ability of the soil to perform the functions which are necessary for its intended use, or is the act of farming using principles of ecology, study of relationship between the organisms and their environment. So it is an integrated system of plant and animal production practices having site specific application that will last for a long term. So this will satisfy the human food or fiber needs, enhance the environmental quality, natural resource base, then make the most efficient use of non-renewable resources, and sustain the economic viability, and enhance the quality of life for the farmers and the society as a whole. So sustainable agriculture. So we heard here the word sustain. Sustainable agriculture means every year we have to get the yield whatever we are getting without affecting the environment. So every year we have to retain the same yield or increase it in the from the same uh, crop or from the same land area without affecting or without deteriorating the environment. So next please. So what are the soil functions? It sustains the soil biological diversity, it activity and productivity, it regulates the water and solid flow, filtering, buffering, degrading organic and inorganic materials, storing and cycling of the nutrients and carbon, providing physical stability and support to the plants. Next please. The ability of the soil to function within ecosystem boundaries to support the healthy plants, maintain or enhance the air and water quality, support the human health and habitation is what is called soil quality. So soil quality, it integrates the physical, chemical and biological condition of the soil. So next please. So you can see the physical properties, chemical properties or the biological properties. So the physical properties they refer to the porosity of the soil, physical color of the soil, the water holding capacity of the soil. The chemical refers to the pH of the soil or acidity of the soil or the nutrients present in the soil. Then biological refers to the microorganisms or micro animals or arthropods that are present in the soil like earthworms. All this they should be in a balanced manner. So that's what we call soil quality. So next please. So what are the factors affecting the soil quality? So refers to the climate, the parent material, time, the living organisms, all these interactions along with the soil amendments. What are the soil amendments that we apply? So for example, if it is an acidic soil, we apply lime. So if it is a basic or alkaline soil, we apply gypsum. So these are the soil amendments which bring back the soil pH to a normal situation where any nutrients that is applied, it is it can be taken up by the crop. So whenever the pH is neutral, whatever the nutrients that we apply in the crop, in the soil, it is taken up by the crop. So cover crops are the crops which are grown on the top of the soil. So it prevents the evaporation. So it also adds organic matter to the soil. Drainage, proper drainage, there should not be any water logging. Then tillage. So the top 10 centimeter of the soil is where we are doing the tillage. So disturbance of this tillage. So whenever there is when we prepare the crops, we go for primary tillage, secondary tillage, and all these interactions make it all these factors they affect the soil quality. So next please. So soil condition quality, it refers to capacity of the soil to function within the ecosystem. So soil health, what is the soil health? It condition to predict how soil function. It is defined as the continued capacity of the soil to function as a vital living system by recognizing that it contains biological elements that are key to the function within the land use boundaries. So next please. Why assess the soil quality? So it is very essential to evaluate the practice, effects and troubleshooting, evaluate of the alternate practices, assessment as an adaptive management tool like soil quality, chemical factors, biological factors, then environmental quality like water quality, air quality, then soil quality, agriculture sustainability, economic sustainability or social viability and environmental quality. All these are interrelated, and these are the very essential that we have to assess the soil quality, and this is what the theme says, that caring of the soils to measure, monitor and manage the soils. So next please. So when we say healthy soil, if we take one spoon of soil, it contains so many microorganisms, the bacteria, fungi, protozoa, nematodes, arthropods, earthworms. So these are the several, so that's why we say a soil is a living soil. So if it is a dead soil, no production can come from any, if you grow any plant, you cannot get any yield. So if it is a living soil, we can say it is a fertile soil. Wherever there is a microorganism is there. So in 1 teaspoon of healthy soil, these are the so many microorganisms are active. Next please. So, what are the services provided by these soil organisms? They are decomposition, mineralization. So, whenever chemical fertilizer is added, so the whatever the nutrients that are there in that fertilizer, they are converted into available forms by the action of this microorganisms. So, if I apply urea, urea is a nitrogen source for any crop. So, it gets converted to nitrogen, ammonical form or nitrate form through the action of these microorganisms in the soil. So, in order to have microorganism activity in the soil, it is very essential that we have to apply organic manures. So, in order to apply organic manures, if what we should do, we have to, whatever the organic manures means, organic manures refers to the manures which are bulky, which comes from some living source, where normally the farmers supply farmyard manure or a dung which is decomposed over the years. They put it in a pit, then they use it for their crop earlier. So, decomposition and mineralization, all these take place through microorganisms. Then it contributes to plant nutrition, like rhizobium. Rhizobium is a microorganism which is in a symbiosis with the legume plants. It fixes nitrogen in the soil. So, likewise mycorrhizae, azospirillum, all these contribute to the plant nutrition. Then soil aggregation, aggregate stability, porosity, then infect, compete with the antagonize with the pest, like for example trichoderma. It is a fungus one which infects, it is a good fungus which infects the disease causing microorganisms. So, trichoderma is used in our agriculture. So, these are the services which are the activities of the soil microorganisms. So, next please. So, organisms consume soil organic matter and other and excrete the inorganic waste. So, this is what is happening when earthworms. So, earthworms, when you give whatever the waste that we give, it again it is converted to vermicompost. So, they use it, they consume it, and whatever the waste that is put out, it is a rich source of nutrients, and this is used in agriculture because it contains not only nutrients, it also contains some plant growth regulators, vitamins, and this is very essential for the crop growth. And the organisms, so whatever the whenever we see some plants or a tree or something, a crop or some leaves have fallen, if there is a good moisture, after some time we see that it becomes a dark like that. So, it is called humus, and this occurs because of the action of the microorganisms, and it is a rich source of nutrients. So, these are the mineralization and immobilization, all this occurs due to action of the microorganism. So, next please. Then soil organic matter, it is the roots, leaves, mulches, manures and compost, all these add to the organic matter. So, and it becomes a source of nutrients for the plants, and this when it is tilled or when the soil is disturbed through tillage practices, it mingles with the soil and it gives nutrients to the plants. Okay, next. So, sustainable agriculture, the goal, what is the sustainable? It is increasingly viewed as a long-term goal that seeks to overcome the problems and constraints that confront the economic viability, environmental soundness, social acceptance of the agriculture production systems. So, sustainable agriculture, as I told you, it aims at retaining the yield over a period of time, retaining the agriculture production over a period of time without affecting the environment. So, the strategy is skilled management, crop rotations, organic recycling, reduced to chemical fertilizers. Here, this is very important. Chemical fertilizers, they give the crop whatever the nutrients that is required, but at the same time overuse also is will turn the soil into unproductive, because unless the soil is having sufficient organic manure or sufficient microorganisms to act on these fertilizers, it is very much waste if we apply only fertilizer. So, fertilizer and organic matter. So, it is an integrated approach. Unless we have this approach, we cannot have a healthy soil. Then input crop or livestock systems integrated with integrated pest management. So it is not the chemical fertilizers, chemical pest, whenever there is a pest problem, we go for chemical spraying, but that is the always the last alternative that you should adopt. There are so many biological or approaches are there, so and this cultural approaches are there. We can have, if there is any insect, so whether we can use some neem based pesticides, we can see, and whatever the chemical based pesticides, whatever is there, that is the last option should be kept, because, and this should be adopted whenever if the farmer is undergoing any economic losses. So if we notice a few pests, we can go for some spray through neem based pesticides, but unless it is affecting the farmer in terms of economics, then we can go for a chemical spray. So linkage and the goal, all this applying, so if you adopt these strategies, we can go for achieving the goal like sustainable agriculture should be profitable, energy conserving, environmentally sound, economical viable, conserved natural resources, improved health and food quality, safety, all this. So nowadays we hear about natural farming. So natural farming involves use of cow products, byproducts like its urine, cow dung, etc. But in order to have a natural farming in the farm, we have to have some cow, and cows should be there. There is no purpose of buying something from outside. So these are the natural farming. And again, natural farming, it refers to improvement of the soil microorganisms. So if we produce Jivamrita, Bijamrita or anything like that, so which are the principles of natural farming, here it improves the soil microorganisms in the soil. So this activity of the soil of the microorganisms lead to improved or increased nutrients. So this is what the sustainable agriculture is also one of the goal of the sustainable agriculture. So next slide please. So assessment of soil quality cannot be determined just by crop yield or water quality or any other single outcome, but it is a indicators. Through we have many indicators. So through indicators only we can assess the soil quality. So next please. Indicators are measurable properties of soil or plants that predict clues how well the soil can function. Indicators can be physical, chemical and biological characters. So useful indicators means they should be easy to measure changes in the soil functions, accessible to many users and applicable in soil conditions. They are sensitive to variations in climate and management. So these are the main indicators. So when I how to measure the indicator, how to get the indicators, again you have to go for soil test. Okay. So next slide please. So the physical factors like soil depth, water holding capacity, then physical environment, structure, aeration, drainage, then soil erosion, water and wind erosion. All these chemical factors like capacity and intensity factor, soil reaction, whether it is acidic, alkaline or a sodic soil, then toxic elements, especially like aluminum and iron in our coastal soils, and microorganisms present and interaction among themselves, earthworms activities, and all these biological, all these physical, chemical and biological factors, all these they are indicators of soil quality. Next. Then physical selected like bulk density, water, these are the, if we select these are the physical indicators. Then physico-chemical like electrical conductivity, organic carbon. Then CEC, cation exchange capacity, refers to the salinity or the soil, salt present in the soil. Then bulk density or acidity of the soil. All these refers to the conceptual framework of the soil quality index. Next please. Next slide. So the physical characters like soil depth and its relation, productivity potential, surface stability. So soil depth, how much of the depth is there? So in if you go for sandy soil, is the water, whatever the water that you applied, just it goes up, because the percolation is very high. But if you go for some soils like black cotton soils, the water holding capacity is very less. So soil depth is very less here. So soil texture, the percentage of sand, silt and clay, then bulk density, then available water content, aggregate stability. All these are the indicators which are having a relationship with the soil quality. Next please. Then pH of the soil, biological activity and soil reaction. So when the pH is 7 and it is neutral, we can say that all the nutrients are available to the plant. If it is acidic, some nutrients may not be available. If it is alkaline also, some nutrients may not be available. And under such situation, we can grow the plants which are tolerant to these extreme conditions. Then electrical conductivity, decisiemens per meter, that is the salt present in the soil. That is, this occurs only when if you are irrigating the crop with the borewell or with the well or something like that. So if it is if the water is having some soil content is more, then electricity and EC gives the soil content. Then organic carbon, available nitrogen, available phosphorus, potassium, cadmium, then the lead, copper, zinc, all these indicators, they are the quality indicators, and these are responsible for the soil quality of the soil quality. Okay, next. So biological indicators like mineralizable nitrogen, biomass, then NPK like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, all this. So whatever when the crop is harvested, it is again analyzed in the laboratory to see how much of nutrients is taken up by the crop, and these are again indicator of the how much we have applied, how much has been taken. So it also indicates the productivity of the soil, capacity of the soil to supply these nutrients to the crop. So next is farmer methods. So normally based on the color of the soil, farmers take it, and statistical methods means measure of dispersions, like whatever the yield that we take the average, like addition of some nutrients without addition. So based on the experiments we can go for statistical methods. Then conventional method is soil index, that is what we are told, scoring. So scoring based on this, we have a well defined scores like 1 to 10, or putting all the scores and arriving at a conclusion. We can say that is what is the soil quality like. So next please. The farmers method is based on the color of the soil. They usually notice that some of the fields perform better. They tend to judge the quality of condition of the soil by observable factors like crop plants, colors associated with the accumulated organic matter, ease of the tillage, presence of the standing water after rainstorms. Because if there is a infiltration is good, there is water will not stand. But if the water stands, again there is a problem with the water holding capacity of the soil. So based on the physical whatever the appearance that they see, farmers method. And next please. So scoring method, here we are having soil function based on the minimum data set. We give some indicators and we have some score for that. Based on the index value, we arrive at index value and we can say what is the quality, is it good or any improvement is required. So based on this is scientifically arrived at. So we are giving some certain score. So it is not based on single factor alone. Several factors are considered, and based on this we can say that soil, what is the soil quality. So next please. So effect of improved soil management. This shows how quality characters like carbon content, soil aggregation, infiltration rate, water holding capacity, nutrient reserve improved with the time in a soil with the adoption of improved soil management practices that followed in alternative agriculture. So it also resulted in improved crop productivity. So assessing what is the problem, then taking the management practices, then monitoring it, and ultimately what is the result. This is what we come when we adopt the improved soil management practices. So it is not just single, it is an integrated way. We cannot just say just by applying fertilizers or organic matter it is improved, yield has improved. So it is just an integrated approach. Again, the activity of the microorganisms, the properties of the soil which we are using, all these contribute to improved soil management. So next please. So how you can contribute to World Soil Day? As individuals, we can spread awareness then you can adopt sustainable practices like use compost, avoid excessive chemicals, and practice crop rotation. So in our district, we normally use, we go for main food crop is rice or paddy. So normally after second crop, now this is the season. Of one crop they grow rice, second crop they use it as fallow. But you have to adopt, sorry, you have to adopt crop rotation. Use legumes or you can use the pulses. So pulses are the protein source for the humans, especially for vegetarians. It is a rich protein source, and we are not growing any pulses here. We are getting it directly from the shops. But it is very essential that instead of leaving the lands fallow, we can go for, after rice, we can go for cultivation of pulses, especially black gram, green gram, horse gram, or any other pulses, because they are legumes. They fix the atmospheric nitrogen in the soil, and they improve the soil fertility. Because in our area, we grow the rice and we cultivate in a puddled condition. We irrigate it, use machines like a tractor with a cage wheel. We totally destroy the soil structure. So in order to have an improvement in the soil structure, we, for the second season, it is very essential that we have to go for some crop which ultimately contributes to soil fertility, improves the soil condition. So we have to practice the crop rotation and avoid excessive chemical fertilizers. How we can avoid? Through soil test. We have to take some soil samples, give it to laboratory. There we will get a soil test report, and based on that we have to give the nutrients to the crop or to any crop, whatever the crops that is grown here, based on the advisories provided in that soil test. Nowadays, a lot of, even the government is also encouraging soil health card. Every farmer should have a soil health card. If you go to Gujarat, every farmer is having a soil health card. Every farmer is having, and every time a agriculture department officer, he visits at the time of commencement of the rainy season, and he advises them how much of fertilizer has to be added. He conducts programs, awareness programs. And even in our district also we are having soil testing laboratories, and we so many, and about 3 years back we had a program called Bhu Chetana program. Bhu Chetana means improvement of the soil or whatever is there. So in this program, soil test was conducted, and through for cluster villages, and in these villages we have adopted or recommended whatever the nutrients that is required for the crops that is grown there. So this was a very good program. It was funded by the ICRISAT, International Crop Research Institute on Semi-Arid Tropics. This was a sponsored program. So these kind of programs are already going on at the government level. So as an individual, your duty is, if you are growing a crop, it is better if you take some soil test and apply the chemicals or fertilizers, because it is very inevitable now we have to go for chemical fertilizers. But applying chemical fertilizer with the organic fertilizers or organic manures is in an integrated way can definitely improve the yield. Then plant trees, especially World Environment Day. I think Prashant Naik sir has already been conducting so many environmental environment programs. So participating in these programs, plant trees, so prevent the soil erosion. So minimize the pollution, like reduce waste, recycle and avoid dumping of hazardous substances into the soil. So next please. Join the community efforts, participate in the cleanup drives and promote rainwater harvesting. And teach children about soil conservation through hands-on activities. Engage in events, join local and global campaigns to promote the soil health. I think already it has been done here. I can see the posters and compliment the Department of Biosciences for organizing such kind of programs. And these are very essential to create awareness in the present generation, so that our soil is maintained in a healthy manner. So next please. So conclusion is, before World Soil Health Day, Soil Day serves as a reminder of the indispensable role of the soil plays in sustaining the soil as the global population grows. Protecting and restoring the soil health has never been more critical. By understanding what is soil, the types of soil in India, importance of the nutrients, we can take steps to ensure a sustainable future. The Soil Day 2024. Let us pledge to work towards a healthier soils for a healthier planet. Together we can build awareness and take action to preserve this vital source for the generation to come. So whatever I have inherited today is from my grandfathers, and I will give it to my future generation without affecting the soil or without harming the soil, so that soil is retained in a good manner. So I very much thank the Department of Biosciences and Science Subject Associations, Bionexus and our in association with the Yoran Foundation, Mangalore, for giving me this opportunity. And I feel it's a really privilege to be with you all and share my thoughts. And I would be very happy to, if you have any questions related to the subject which I have presented. And I'm very grateful to you all. Thank you all. Thank you, Vandana.
Good afternoon, sir. So, as we know, in today's era, climate change is serving as the biggest threat to the planet Earth. So, my question would be how soil can help in mitigation of climate change.
Okay, thank you. It's a very good question. As you can see, climate change or whatever that is happening, one main reason is the crops that we grow in the soil. Especially if you take paddy, it is contributing to methane and all. And this one, it is contributing water methane or greenhouse gases, what is ever happening. So unless we have healthy soil is, as I told you, it's a balanced physical, chemical and biological properties. If they are in balanced proportion, the climate change or whatever that is happening, so it can contribute very much to the mitigating this climate or whatever climate change or whatever is happening. It can contribute to some extent only. So in soils, whatever we are applying nutrients, suppose we are applying the nutrients like fertilizers, organic. So unless and until they are in a combination effect or in a required quantity, nothing will happen. But if we apply nutrients or fertilizer in a more excess condition, again there are losses are there, and again it contributes to climate change or mitigation like that. So if you take urea, it's a source of nitrogen. Okay, so it's a chemical. It's a CO twice or what is called biurate urea. So when I apply it into the soil, it changes to ammonical form or nitrate form. The application efficiency, or what if you apply 100 kg of urea into the soil, the efficiency is only 30 kg. Only 30 kg is taken up by the crop. Others goes to leaching. It contributes to it pollutes the groundwater pollution. Some are escapes as a gases, and it again contributes to this one. So to mitigate this, whatever the so at present what we are having is, we are the urea whatever that is coming now, it is coated with neem. So this reduces the losses. So this one product we can say. So soil is a general thing. So but the soil management itself contributes to the climate change. And what are the practices, human practices that we are doing? If we go it in a scientific way, definitely we can reduce the climate change or whatever. Okay, thank you.
My question is, so it takes thousands of years to form soil, and now if we see 30 to 40% of like soil fertility is lost due to rainfall, acidification and all. So even UNESCO said that 90% of soil fertility will be lost by 2050. So what are the measures to control that?
Yeah, that's what I told you. In the end, I have told you. So from where the soil is lost, okay, it is from the barren lands. So there you have to go for soil binding plants, means planting of the trees. Okay, so we have to celebrate environmental day in a meaningful manner. So planting of the trees or soil binding, there are grasses like the vetiver grasses. They hold the soils binding in a perfect manner. So we have to prevent soil erosion. So wherever there is a slope or there we have to go for planting of some crops or trees like that. So such things we can go, or we can go for cover crops. So the main purpose is to avoid to grow for some more this one vegetation is very important. It's go whatever the soil assess what is happening, it is again only sloping lands are there. In this such industry is happening. Or if we remove the forest cover is not there, or if it is a barren land, there the water, because the rain directly it falls, rainwater erosion is occurring. So if we prevent these things by planting more trees and all, definitely we can reduce the soil erosion.
Good afternoon, sir. As we all know, in this modern world, the city is urbanizing, and we barely have any fields. In Mangalore, the Kadri side used to be Kambla. Now everything has been industrialized, urbanized, and everything. And people are switching to microgreens, where soil is not used. And such foods have been like, people are eating healthy organic food, and people are switching to microgreens mostly. So in such situations that people are using modern techniques where soil is not used, and as you can see in most of the city, the soil is barely we can see soil. The whole city has been urbanized with concrete roads, tar road we can see. So how do we expect the modern people who have been urbanized in this generation to conserve soil, and how can the measures that the government can take to conserve soil, the remaining soil that has been remained in the city?
So your question is how the government is government initiative to conserve the soil. Okay, that's a very good question. So one thing is government is promoting lot of awareness for getting the farmers for soil health cards. So removing of the soil samples. Once we are creating awareness how to remove the samples, because farmers they don't know how to take the samples. But if we have to take a sample is representing 1 hectare area. 1 hectare is 2.5 acres or 10,000 square meters. So whenever a soil sample is removed, it has to, so finally when we take sample for in the laboratory for testing major nutrients, it is hardly half kg or 10 grams we weigh it, and we use it for many chemical, we use it for chemical or for whatever the test is there, NPK, pH, and all the micronutrients that we use. So to remove the soils or soil samples, it has to be a representative of the whole area. So to follow that, there is a systematic way. So we educate the farmers how to remove it. Okay. There was a program called Puchetana, which is sponsored by the central government or ICRIS Act, where there were local people, where farmer facilitators were appointed, and they have gone to the farmers field. They remove the samples, and for them we provided all the training programs. So by this, nearly almost all the villages were covered in this Dakshina Kannada district. But you know very well our land area, how it is. It's just hillock, some interiors. It's very difficult situation also. And moreover, major crops in this district are areca nut or coconut, and very less people are going paddy. So for one thing is this one. Another thing is about promoting organic farming, natural farming. So for organic farming, we are promoting use of farmyard manures or vermicompost. So government is giving some concessions for subsidies for building of this vermi compost units where they can compost the whatever the waste that is available. They give the worms and the whatever vermi compost is found, then it is used for their own land only. And again, it is giving some compost through subsidies. Means government departments are doing. We are not doing this. The government through various departments like agriculture, horticulture, sericulture, forest, and forest department is giving some biofuel plants every year. So if you grow per plant, they are giving 10 rupees like that. For 3 years you have to go, they'll do inspection. After third year, they'll give per plant 30 rupees, 40 rupees like that. So there we are having lot of government programs are there. Apart from that, there is a natural farming program, which is sponsored by the central government, where the products of the cow, like urine, cow dung, they are used in their own field, so that it improves the soil condition, especially microorganisms. It is only for microorganism improvement. But when you use natural farming, the farmer must be in a position to lose the yield for at least 3 years, because we cannot expect the yield as compared to conventional method for at least 3 years. After 3 years, the fertility builds up, and then you can get a very good yield. But the farmer should be ready for it. So we go for in a very small scale. So if he's having 100 or 200 arecanut trees, we try this in only 100 trees. After 3 years, when he start getting good yield, then he goes for next 100 plants later. So the yield stability should be, because nowadays the arecanut you are having very good market prices there. Cocoa we are having very good market price. Pepper is having very good market price. At this stage, you cannot convince a farmer to go for organic farming or natural farming. We can tell him to go only for a small area, so that when he realizes the results, he can go for a large area. So in this manner, the government is promoting a lot of efforts or giving, and also giving some subsidy. So it also gives seeds through subsidy also it is giving. So nowadays in plants, arecanut plants, we are having diseases. So they are giving pesticides at subsidized rates. That's the Department of Horticulture is giving. So indirectly all these are contributing, because again, soil is main here. Whatever the crop that is grown in the soil is the main here. So government is doing a lot of work in this. Okay.
Thank you, sir, for your meaningful talk. So, just one curious question from my side. So, in the recent years, particularly in Dakshina Kannada as well as coastal regions of Karnataka, so the main challenging task is introduce species of plant varieties, particularly acacia, mangium, then eucalyptus. So even common people, they used to say acacia as well as this mangium variety. It mainly affects soil profile, particularly wherever acacia grows, it converts the soil, particularly soil will become more of sandy, so that water holding capacity also decreasing, minerals are leaching out, particularly during monsoon season. So whether is it true, so whether it will going to convert soil in the form of more of sandy. Then my another question is whether is there any possibility to do any recommendations from education institutions as well as like university or Krishi Vijnana Kendra to the government. Is it possible to remove such exotic varieties of plants, and is it possible to replace with some other tree varieties?
About the this one, about what you said, acacia and this one, it is removing the nutrients. Okay, sir, because whatever the variety or whatever the plants which are fast growing, again it depletes the soil nutrients. So definitely it affects the soil, that's true. And second is about the recommendation from ours. Definitely we don't interfere in the government policy. It's a policy of the government. We are only execute the policy. We don't recommend the policies. So whatever you said about the this one, like a nutrient, this one, definitely there may be some measures to reclaim that soil, or to regenerate through application of some organic manures, or through soil test. Whatever, if there is any shortage of the nutrients, we can go for application of the nutrient. But definitely a short, fast growing crops like acacia or mango, whatever is there, so definitely it will deplete the soil with these nutrients. That's true, sir.
So thank you, sir, for the beautiful. Okay.
Sir, last one curious question for my curiosity, since we are from agriculture background. So in the present scenario, particularly areca plantation is concerned, leaf spot viral infection. So earlier it was there in only in Sulya Taluk. So recently it entered to our Bantwal Taluk, Puttur Taluk also. The one common feature what the farmers they used to say, even I don't have any reference for that, excess watering to the plants beyond the field capacity, because from the last many years in Karnataka, government is giving free current for the farmers. Same way, digging of bore wells, so the number is increasing day by day. So power also free, water also free. So generally farmers they used to turn on the bore wells, preferably in the night time, till morning, so the watering will be continued for the field. So whether this excess watering, so as far as their knowledge, common people's knowledge, so it is mainly going to affecting beneficial microbial diversity with reference to root hairs. So due to excess watering, these beneficial microorganisms, what those are colonizing in the rhizosphere region, so their number is declining. So that the resistance of the plants against some of these viral infection or fungal infections, so that resistance is decreasing. Sir, is it true from your point of view?
Sir, whatever you told is correct. What the farmers do is they usually adopt sprinkler type of irrigation. So depending on the current, what they do is power supply. They just put it on, and if it is 2-phase or 3-phase, so they don't know when it is coming. So when they put the 3-phase, if it is in the night, they just put it on, and in the morning they will move it off. So the crop is provided with excess water. So whatever the water requirement is there, about say about 3 liters per day or something like that, it goes beyond that, and there is be waterlogging. Definitely it will be there. And this waterlogging, it leads to physiological stress of the plant, because of which if there is any growing or in the initial stage, whatever the nuts they are there, if there is any nuts which are growing, small nuts, they without any development, because they will not have it, because it creates stress, all the nuts they start falling. One thing. Another thing is anaerobic microorganisms may thrive in there, but aerobic, definitely there will be problem. Anaerobic microorganisms or bacteria, whatever is there, they may thrive under such situation, and it may give, if there is a more, it may give to rise to rotting of the crop. Means, of course, if adults it may not be, if there is a proper drainage, but if it goes more, there may be drainage of the, there may be rotting of the root rotting may be there. So another thing is what the government is promoting is drip irrigation. Drip irrigation, in drip irrigation, just the crop, the water is given only to the root zone, or where water is required. It does not, so in sprinkler it just goes around, so there will be lot of weeds will be generated. But in drip irrigation, it just gives water only to the root zone. So this is what is advocated, and lot of people have also adopted drip irrigation. But wherever it is not possible, some people have not yet adopted, and whatever the subsidy that is given by the horticulture department is only a few people will get. Every year there are limited amount will come and is given to few people. So 100 people apply, again maybe 15-20 people may get. So others they have to adopt the sprinkler inevitably until their turns comes to great. So but it is always better, unless they don't want subsidy, they can go for adoption of drip irrigation, Along with, if there is there is also possibility for fertigation, applying fertilizer or water soluble fertilizer through drip also, there is a possibility is there. But in every arecanut field, unless it is a natural, many times in our district, a lot of paddy fields are converted to arecanut. There the water logging is occurring because of that only. Because especially lowlands, their water table is very high. There the problem arises. Unless we have produced some drainage, problem may not arise, or otherwise definitely rotting will be there. Then again the dropping of the nuts will be there. Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Any queries? Okay, moving on. So thank you, sir, for a wonderful talk and motivating our students about awareness of soil conservation. So we have it's a quiz, okay, whether you were attentive during sir's talk, just to check that. We have two questions to the audience. So anyone can answer at a time, not in a group, okay. So it's based on the PPT which sir has shown here. So the first question will be, approximately how many microorganisms can be found in a teaspoonful of soil? Anyone can answer at a time. Approximately how many microorganisms can be found in a teaspoonful of soil? I'll give you an option, but at a time only one people will get a chance to answer. Option is 4 billion, 50 billion, 500, 1000 billion, 1 billion. Okay, so it will be between, okay, 1 billion is the right answer, but it will be between 50 million to 1 billion. Okay, so you can receive a prize from sir. Harish sir, please give her a prize. And the second question is, can you give some example before receiving the prize? Neha, some example. Sir has shown. Okay, give first the photo. Okay, so the second question is, what is soil horizon? No, you can't answer. Neha, others from that side also. Sir has shown a neat picture of soil horizon in his PPT. Yeah. Sir, if the answer is correct, I can give you. No.
Up to 10 centimeters from the soil.
Okay, can you tell the layers?
Topmost layer maybe.
Yeah, that is topmost layer. There are different or example for that soil horizon. Others, anyone can give a try? It is a layer of soil. Can you tell the layer of soil? Anyone? Yeah, go there. She want to try.
A horizon, B horizon,
Yeah.
C horizon, D horizon, E horizon.
A horizon okay, B okay, C okay.
D.
D is not there. From
R,
where?
sorry, R.
Okay then.
O.
Okay, O.
Enough.
Sir, whether the answer is correct, sir? Okay, come and receive prize from the sir.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable and informative talk.